I think the one thing about having a sister is the fact that you grew up in the same household, and I'm sorry for the noise. You grew up in the same household, so you're most likely to have the same values and the same childhood experiences. Although our parents did parent us differently, even though we were in the same household, but generally our childhood experiences are the same. Our value system is the same. Belief system is the same. Thank you so much for watching this video. That's good. Mamela, the gag is incwadi lene questions. Iphansi kwale couch esamabutho. Diva ke apha. Uyifihlelani?
Could have had it all, but you pushed me right into his arms. You wanted to break, I wanted to stay. Look what you made me give my love away. You made a mistake. Say that you've changed, but it's too late.
Sorry, mommy.
My love away.
Fruity, my wear 5 types of fruits a day keeps the doctor away. 5. What ends up is? Oh, they say 5 indeed. Thank you, Maya. Thank you. Testing 1 2 1 2. Oh, 1. Yeah, I was coming back. Oh. I was running cancer. Okay. Sanibona nidimela ngapsheni dima siyabuti. Novani, habari, lochani, welcome back to my channel. Boa tarde, tudo bem? My sister loves that greeting.
Those are the 2 greetings I know. Boa tarde and tudo bem.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nobuntu G Betuna and Bubuntu Bam. Today I am with my favorite person in the whole wide world. Like, akekho umuntu engimthanda ugqitha lo muntu apha emhlabeni jikelele. My sister!
Hello guys! Hi guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back to my sister's channel. Kamalam. Kamalam Gulana Kelese, and my YouTube channel is Lona Kelese at the LG Gang Gang Gang. I hope you guys are gonna love our collab. Looking forward to doing this. My sister has been wanting us to do this, and finally I've made her wish come through.
Thank you.
The siblings
Yeah,
tag.
it's a siblings tag,
Yeah.
Q&A, and it's how well do you know your sister? One thing I appreciate about this platform, guys, is how close it has brought my sister and I together. Since we've started content creating, we have gotten closer and closer together. So this is just a video to see how well do we actually know each other as adults. For those of you who are not aware, this is my younger sister. She likes me making sure that people understand that she's the youngest
Please.
and I'm the older one. It's only 3 years.
I'm still the last one,
Not
guys.
that much. Only 3 years, guys.
I am still the last one, but that's
okay.
it.
Yeah, I guess I have to let you know. So there you have it. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get started. Okay, so yeah, basically what I did, I went onto Pinterest and I typed most likely 2 questions to ask. And then this suggestion popped up. How well do you know your sister? So I just basically copied the questions as they are on Pinterest. And my sister hasn't seen these questions. I saw them because I had to write them down, but I didn't really think about the answers. So yeah, that's what we're doing. It's 13 questions in total, and we're hoping not to make this video too long. Yeah, but anyway, I'm blabbing. Let's get into the video for today.
Please don't mind us, guys. We're having some snacks. So
Yes.
the minute you see us looking down or nibbling on
We are
anything,
eating.
we're just snacking while we're going ahead with the siblings Q&A.
Yeah, thank you, Nana.
Over to you, Nana.
All right. Action. Do you think we'd be friends if we were not siblings?
Definitely. I think we'd be friends if we're not siblings because we've got similarities. And I think as much as I'm a bubbly person and you're an introvert, but we gel. Like we've got a way where we gel as sisters, but also as a friendship would be able to understand one another. So I definitely think we would be friends.
I think so too, Nana. I like you as a person.
Okay.
I know when we were younger, when you were still in primary school, I didn't like you. I didn't like her, guys. We didn't like each other.
I knew that.
We didn't like each other. But when she got to high school and was now matured and, you know, and everything, then we got along very well.
Okay.
So, yeah, also my sister is an extrovert. I'm more of an ambivert, but like a social introvert. So I think we do gel, like we balance each other out, you know. She's the yin to my yang. So I definitely see us being friends if we were not siblings. I think you would have pursued the friendship. Not
I think so. I think so too. I probably would have been that one who came up to you and started the conversation.
Yeah.
And then eventually asked you, don't you want to be my friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. What is your best childhood memory or funniest?
I think I have a lot. I don't have one in particular.
Okay, maybe mention two.
Okay, so when I was much younger, like less than 8 years old, right? I was not living with my dad. We were not living with dad. Dad used to work in the mines, so he used to live with my other brother here in Gauteng. And then my oldest brother, who you have met in the channel, my sister and I lived with my mom in the Eastern Cape. So he used to work like 4 days in, 4 days out, I think, the shifts that they were working. And so like month end, he would then come and visit us in the Eastern Cape. So he would always arrive at nights. And then only in the morning, right, we would realize that dad was around. So he really did drive down. He mostly took a bus down. But how we would know is mom would sleep ku-6 corner. Do you remember? Like when dad was not around, it was like their bedroom and nobody slept in it. Nobody slept ku-6 corner. We all slept in the other houses. If you know how the homeland setup is, right? There's no one house with many rooms. It's like many houses in the homestead. So yeah, when umnyango wa ku-6 corner, when like the door of that 6-cornered hut was open, you would know that it means dad is here. And it was like, it was the happiest time because we would eat nice food when dad is around. Mom is in a happier mood. The whole family is together. I used to enjoy those surprises. Actually, I didn't even know that until I said it out loud now. And then my other happiest memory. Oh, playing in the streets, guys. I think I mentioned this in my Get to Know Me tag. We used to play a lot. I enjoyed playing as a child. Like whatever games we used to play, it was the best times ever. It reminded me that I was a child and I enjoyed my childhood. My parents are relatively very strict, so them allowing us to go and play on the streets was like Christmas to me. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting, because I was also going to say the same thing. I think us having to have lived in Western area once upon a time was just one of the most nicest things we could have done as kids. Playing about donkey and all these things, getting exposed to that lifestyle, because I feel like kids nowadays are always on their phones, they've got PlayStations, they don't know how to play and enjoy playing as kids. I think one of my best childhood memories was when I had to start grade 1. I know that I've probably never told my sister this, but when I had to start grade 1 in a primary school that she and my brother, the second born, went to, my sister would now and then have to come check up on me to like understand, are you okay? Are you fitting in? And I think it made it easier, you know, as much as kids at that age, no one can really say I've got fears for this, but being exposed to other kids and school and having to do all these things was something that a child needs to adapt to. And the fact that I had my brother or my sister who could check up on me and even help me during things that I needed to do was one of the sweetest things that I think I had as a child.
Oh, Nana.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's so sweet.
Thank you.
What's the one thing you could change about your childhood or our childhood if you could?
About our childhood. Okay, I think the fact that our eldest brother, Oput Kanyesa, went to a boarding school kind of robbed us of that privilege of getting to know him, you know. And after boarding school, automatically went to varsity, and then, you know, I feel like we lost out on a lot of time spending with him and getting to know him as a person. And now that we are older, we're trying our hardly best to get to know him, but somehow obviously we would have missed a lot of things.
Yeah, true. I think also I share the same. Sorry, my answer is similar to yours, but I also think in general, I wish we could have just been one happy family from the get-go. Okay. Like the fact that my mom used to stay in Eastern Cape, dad was here for whatever reasons at the time, right? And eventually we were in the same household, but now our oldest brother had now grown up already, you know. So yeah, I think also with me, I would change that. And I think also I wish my parents were more
open.
Yeah, I feel like they were very strict. They were very strict in such a sense that we feared them, or okay, at least me, I feared my parents. So I wish they were more open to like having conversations with us, and also them understanding that they don't know this parenting thing, it's new to them, you know. But I know that they were doing the best that they could at the time, you know. They didn't have a formula either. But yeah, apart from staying with our older brother from the youngest age, I feel like also I wish my parents were more open-minded.
Yeah.
What
achievement are you most proud of?
You? I think my home.
Okay.
I think my home. I think as much as, you know, when you plan in your 20s. You know, when you plan in your 20s and you're like, hey, by this age I want to do this, by this age I want to do that. As much as I would have planned to acquire my home earlier on in my life, and it didn't happen because everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I think being able to come to a place that I can call my own, and basically just having that comfort of, you know, no matter what happens tomorrow, because nothing is guaranteed, I can always say, at least out of my career and my life, this is something that I have achieved.
Okay.
I don't know if it makes sense.
No, it does. It does. And it's a great achievement because it's something that you planned and you made sure you execute and you get it done. So it does not always matter how long it takes you, but it's a matter that you eventually did it by yourself, for yourself. So I think it's a great achievement.
Yeah, because I'm not really an ambitious person per se. I remember when I was 13, we were asked by our Impukane. Oh no! I know you're lying.
I want to go.
Guys, there's a fly. Please excuse. I know when I was 13, we were asked by our English teacher, Mrs. Eisman, or was it Mrs. Werdendal? I can't remember. They asked us to write an essay, right, of basically where we see ourselves in 20 years' time. And I remember writing that essay, and I remember how it was different because after writing it, we had to like stand up in front of the class and do public speaking in terms of like reading out what we had written. And I remember mine was so different from everybody else because people wanted cars, they wanted houses and whatever. I had written that I want to be happy in 20 years' time. I want to wake up in the morning and be happy. Literally, that's how I still feel. Not 20 years later, but almost 20 years later. It is 20 years later, Mdase. I was 13.
33.
I was 13 20 years ago.
Time flies.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yes, but literally 20 years later, guys, I'm here and I still feel that. But for me, my greatest achievement in life is just to experience true joy and happiness. I really just want to be happy. I know it sounds cliche. That's how I feel.
No, I think it's a great thing. It's a great achievement.
All right, and you, Nana?
What, guys? I wonder if my sister ever told you guys that she bought the apartment. She didn't tell any of us, and she was like, "Ta-da! I bought it," and we were like, "Okay." One, I was very surprised because my sister is always that person between the two of us. She's the she's the disciplined child who would want to do things by the book and according to my parents' wishes. And I'm often said I'm the radical, vocal, child.
Rebellious.
But I don't think rebellious is the word, guys.
Rebellious is the word, man.
Hi, Mom, that's it.
I think it is.
Okay, fine. Rebellious is the word, but
She doesn't do things by the book.
when she did this, I was so happy. More than anything, I was so proud. But also, like she's saying that she did it to make herself happy. I was happy that she did it and she was happy with it. She didn't have to have us affirm it or have us say, no, we like it or we don't. Because I think that's also another thing about our family, or mostly about our parents. And I don't think sometimes they do it because they understand, but they do it because they would not want us to do the same mistakes. But one thing I could say at the moment I'm most proud of, like my sister has said, I echo the same sentiments. I think growing up, we had a lot of things that we wanted to achieve. At this age, I would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when I look back and with some of the things I would have wanted to achieve and I have not achieved, but the fact that I'm still a person who's still growing and evolving as a person. I'm proud of the woman that I am today.
Yes.
I'm really proud of the woman that I am today. Obviously, I wouldn't have gotten to this level if it was not for the women that mostly surround me and for the 2 role models that I have in life, which is my sister and my mom, and also my friends that I keep close to me. But when I look at myself and I'm like, what is my identity? What defines me as a person? I'm proud of the woman that I am and the woman that I'm growing into become. So it's one of my greatest achievements, and I think I'll forever hold that dearly and cherish it, because I look back and I look at my current self and I look at my future self, and I can't wait to get to achieve that and be that person that I want to be. So
Yes, Nana. And you're in your 30s now.
Hello now.
The best decade. You understand?
I always have everyone say it's the best ages, but for me it's still scary, guys.
You're still new at this, guys. She's still new at this. Give her a year or 2. She'll get into it. Right? I think also then what we learned from our answers is that material things don't really
Matter
that much,
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Who do you love most, mom or dad?
I feel like this is a tricky question, guys.
But there's an answer there deep down. If you search, you will find it.
I think growing up, I've always been a daddy's girl.
Yes.
Growing up, I've always been a daddy's girl.
They are both last borns.
We've got similarities.
They both have small hearts. Like they are very sensitive people.
Yeah, I think growing up, I've been a daddy's child. Even when I was in varsity, I was like a daddy's girl. But
until she was in her 20s, she kisses my dad in the mouth.
Yes, and I loved doing it. I really loved doing it. I think though,
my sister taught my dad how to hug. We never got hugs, Tina. We were never hugged, these other siblings. But then when my sister came, my dad now gives hugs.
It's fine. So, as I'm saying, mostly when I grew up, varsity, I was still a daddy's girl. But also in varsity, after varsity, working in PE, I was always a daddy's girl. But having to have moved to Joburg 2020, right? And getting to spend most time when you go home with mom, but also like the chats we would have when I visit on weekends from PE. The girl, mother, ne? I feel like in most cases, whenever we have these conversations with our friends, they'll be like, especially my friends that don't have their fathers present in their lives, they always say, they don't picture themselves without a mother instead of having a father, because they don't know how that would happen. But I've recently came to experience that, even though my father is still here, but my mom plays that role of being a father and the mother. I don't know if you understand. Like, her heart is as big as I don't know what, but I've recently came to understand, okay, this is a mother's love. And I think also as we are older now, she's not as strict as she used to be. And she gives us that allowance and leeway, and she wants to hear our advices and opinions. And I'm falling in love with her as a parent more than what I've came to establish with dad. So at the present moment, mom
is your favorite.
Mom is my favorite. As much as between her and dad, I love the fact that dad is my cheerleader. Dad is that person who, if tomorrow I wake up and I'm like, guys, I want to go work in Australia, dad is going to be like, go for it, and Danam, we've lived our life, go live yours.
Yeah.
Mom is going to be like, wait, let's sit down, let's think about it.
Yeah.
Why do you want to do it? Do you have to do it? She's the reasoning.
But she's an overthinker.
She is an overthinker, which is
She's
good.
Not a risk taker.
Yes, she's not a risk taker, which is good and bad, because I feel like I'm that. Sometimes I'm a risk taker.
Yeah.
I want to do things at that moment. I'm like, I want to do them for me.
Yeah.
But with her, it's a good. You want to do it for you, but let's think about it. What are the consequences?
Yeah.
Yeah. For you?
I think for me, it's maybe vice versa.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with me, I've always been a mommy's girl.
Yeah.
My mom has always been my favorite person in the world. I admire my mom so much. She's so wise. And because my mom was a homemaker, we spent more time with my mom than we did with dad. So I didn't really know dad well enough for him to be my favorite.
Okay.
He was that person that mom would say, okay, if you're not listening, I'm gonna tell your dad. He's gonna give you a beating of your life. You know? So yeah, and he's always been that, authority figure. The
villain.
not the villain, but the stronger one out of the parents. Like even if I got in trouble with mom, I know whatever punishment she'd give. What did I do? Yo, son. With mom, you must fetch doom. Guys, we have an intruder here.
If you do.
Ila paper searching. Ila covered ila paper searching.
Oh gosh.
Masivula umnyango ke. Mandela ndivulele festival. Sorry guys, we had to take care of the fly. But yeah, like I was saying, he was not a villain, but he was more like the
stricter.
Yeah, the stricter parent out of the two. So yeah, I was always a mommy's girl. And then I think relationships with our parents changed depending on what age we are in. Because obviously, when I started helping my parents out financially, the relationship we had completely changed. I now became an adult. They treated me like an adult, And I feel like my parents are very different. So, like, there's things that I like with mom, there's things that I like with dad that mom doesn't have. But yeah, I think also mom and I still have unresolved issues.
Okay.
So she's the type of person who like sweeps things under the rug. There are certain conversations that she and I still need to have that I've had with dad. So I feel like dad and I are now more on the same page.
Okay.
And I think also because now I work and dad used to work, he likes giving me advice, about finances. Because my dad is very strict when it comes to finances, guys, and not having debt. Like he's able, like even when I wanted to buy a car, we would have conversations about what car to buy, what insurance, like those type of conversations we had. So those things brought us closer together. And yeah, so, and also now he's my cheerleader. Dad is my cheerleader. And I feel like I can tell dad things that sometimes
you can't tell mom.
I can't tell mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What do you admire most about mom and dad?
Okay, one thing I admire most about mom, it's her heart. I feel like, oh God, mother, she's got the biggest heart ever.
Sorry.
Do you know that growing up, you know how having a strict mom growing up, it would be a matter of you would maybe want money or require money for something, and mom would have to evaluate, is it a need or a want? And then she'd be like, no, this is not a need, it's basically a want. And she'd be like, no, Lona, and then the next thing you know, a neighbor or someone else comes in the house and they ask of money. All of a sudden there's money.
When now?
Imali yavela, imali yanikwa.
Guys,
it used to be something that I could not understand personally, because I was like, okay, what is happening? But at the same time, as you grow older, you get to know that mom is a person who's very selfless.
Yeah.
She will sacrifice her own happiness for another person's happiness. You understand?
Her last penny.
Her last penny, she
For
could
a
give it to
stranger.
someone else and be like, no, they need it better than I do. You
And
know.
then she'll be like, no, God is gonna reward me.
And I truly believe, even though at times she doesn't see that God rewards her, but I think God does reward her, even with us, you know,
Through
her
us.
kids,
Yeah.
because there is that verse. I don't want to misquote it, but yes,
It's one of the commandments.
it's one of the commandments, you know, and
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers until
Yes.
the third and fourth
generation,
and
yeah.
showing mercy unto thousands of those.
Sure. And I know that even with us, as much as sometimes we don't get to give gratitude to her, but as a mother, she'll forever want
The best for us.
best for us. And
Yeah.
she prays for us more than she even prays for herself, you know. So I think that's one thing I admire about mom.
Yeah.
But dad, I admire the fact that he's always ready to celebrate our wins.
Yeah.
No matter how small they are, you know, no matter how big they are. But he's generally, as a dad, he will want to celebrate it and be like, no, enjoy it, make the best of it. So even though sometimes you feel like, no, he shouldn't know this, he's an inquisitive person. You'd want to know and want to find out what are your plans, what are you know. As much as sometimes it seems as if, oh, I don't understand that, but somehow when you look at it, it's nice to have that person who would want to be involved.
I think me too. I think what I like most about mom is how genuine my mom is, guys. My mom is genuine. Like, you think that maybe she's fakey, you know, in front of people, like at church or like in Pagatini, and then when we behind closed doors, she's a different person. But she's not. Like, my mom, what you see is what you get. She's an honestly genuine person. And even when I come home, right, and I'm complaining about someone, like a stranger or, you know, work, and I'm like, yo, why is one diga ubani? My mom will take their side. My mom will be like, no, maybe they're going through a lot. No, maybe there's an explanation. Maybe, you know, she always tries to see the positive in every situation. And I think also then that makes her gullible, and people do take advantage of her kindness sometimes. But yeah, I really like how genuine my mom is, and also she's a great mother. Like, she loves us, like, genuinely, you know. I think as much as she wanted to have a career at some point in her life, everything does happen for a reason, because the fact that she was a homemaker and was there for us growing up 100% of the time made us the people that we are. And I always say this, if I can be half the mother my mom was to us, I'll be a great mother. I'll be mother of the year if I can just be half of the mother that she was. So yeah, I love that about mom. And then about dad, I think I love how, opposite to mom, he's not a procrastinator.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not a good thing. Like he
thinks and acts.
Yeah, he acts on impulse. He's impulsive, and like if he thinks of something, he does it. You know, I wish I had that, because I don't have it. Like, unfortunately, I'm a procrastinator like mom. I will plan for 2 years before I do something. And my sister says this all the time. Like, unfortunately, I'm that person, guys. I overthink. I want things to be perfect, and then I end up not doing it because I'm fearing it's not going to be perfect. And I hate that about myself. I don't like it at all. So I like that he acts, he thinks of something, he does it, you know. And yeah, and he gets my jokes. My dad laughs at my jokes. I like that. Oh,
Okay.
I like that my dad has a sense of humor. But my mom is the funny one between the two of them.
Okay.
My mom makes me laugh more, but I like that dad gets my jokes and he laughs at them.
Interesting.
Guys, excuse the lighting. The sun is going down. We no longer have natural lighting. So yeah, my dad is also like a family orientated person, which is one thing that I like about him. He's always been big on family, and he's always tried to provide us with a home that he didn't have growing up. So the fact that he's always wanted us together, he always wants us to be united, to work as a family, to achieve as a family, and to be family orientated, take care of one another, even when him and mom are no longer around, still understand the importance of family. I think it's one of the things I admire and love about him. And the fact that he chose to be a present father.
Interesting.
Yes!
Next one says, what is the best memory of you two?
Of?
The two of us.
The best memory of the two of us? You?
Do you have a lot of memories?
I do.
Okay.
I don't have one memory, which is the best memory of the two of us. I think we share so many memories. I think my sister and I are always laughing. That's the one thing about my sister and I. We are always laughing. And those are the best memories for me because Jay, as a person, I love laughing. So the fact that I get to do it with her, you know, even when something funny happens, we both perceive it the same way. We both think it's funny. And the fact that we're just laughing all the time, for me, is my best memories. I can't think of anything. Also, when we're home, guys, my sister and I don't sleep. So when we used to stay, when I used to stay in Krugersdorp, she didn't visit me as often. Ne?
When? Because I was in school?
Jay, the whole time I was there.
COVID, Galuk. And I was working full time and you were scared of COVID, so also.
No, before then. Before COVID.
Oh, okay. But I was in PE for 8 years.
So my sister used to stay in PE,
Yeah.
which is another province in South Africa, and I stayed this side. So only when she visited did we get to like spend time together. But obviously when she visits, she's visiting my parents, right? So during those times, that's when we get to catch up, my sister and I, when we are in my parents' house. And then you find that we're not sleeping at night, we are busy chatting, catching up. And then my mom will reprimand us the next morning to say, why didn't you guys sleep? Why did you sleep so late? But those memories of us being in my childhood home, on our bed, you know, like as kids again, in a nostalgic environment, and basically like, it's like we were children again. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I totally get you. It's like we were still back in high school sharing a room.
Yes.
Yeah, and being able to
telling me
gossip.
what boy you like.
Be able to gossip. You know,
And-
I totally get you.
And we gossip about the parents.
Yes.
We gossip about my brothers.
Yes.
We gossip about everybody.
I think that's the best thing about having a sister. It's having to gossip with her, knowing that in return she's not gonna be thinking, "Yo, Lorna, you're such a bad person," you know.
The lover of other people's business. Okay.
That sounds so
That is the
wrong.
lover of other people's business. My sister guys will be meeting someone after a long time. Like, how are you?
Oh.
How is your marriage going? I'm like, Nana, you can't ask such questions.
Guys, can I be honest? I feel like I ask the questions people don't want to ask. I am that person. No, I will ask that question that everyone is probably thinking, should we ask it
They
or should
also
we
want to
not?
know.
They want to know, but they
So
will
when
not ask.
You help other people.
Not even help other people, but because I'm not generally, I'm a curious person.
I
It
understand.
depends who you are. I will ask. One of the best memories is being able to confide in you. Like being able to share my fears and all those things with you. And not have being able to share my fears with you and not have you judge me, but rather have you being a supporter in telling me, Guti, you know what, don't worry, you've got this, everything is gonna be fine, you're gonna do great. I remember when I got to varsity in my first year, I gave you a call and I was like, Mogale, I feel like I'm struggling in varsity. I'm not able to settle in. I've written like 3 or 4 tests and I am just failing. I don't understand what the problem is. I'm studying, but I'm failing. And I remember you quoted a verse for me, 1 Thessalonians, is it 5 verse 18? Pray without ceasing. But you became a source of hope when all my hope was gone. At that moment, I didn't know if am I even going to be doing this right? I'm going to be coping with this. But also I think behind there was the fears of not letting you guys down as part of my family, but mostly my siblings, because you guys believed in me when part of me didn't believe in myself. And just after that call, I felt like, you know, you just reminded me of something that I needed to be reminded of. And the fact that you were there to call me every day and to check in and to be like, you okay? Are you coping? It was something that I could never forget until this day. Hence also when I'm going through something, you that person that I will call and be like, Nana, can you talk? there's this, I don't know what to do, I'm worried, I'm stressed. And you always find a way to make sure that I can calm down, I can feel like I'm in control, and I can just simply trust myself, trust my instincts, and go for it.
I don't even remember the things you're talking about.
I remember them.
I don't.
Best memories. It's memories, girl.
No.
Mm-hmm.
What do you find most annoying about me?
Should I lie or should I lie?
Tell the truth, honey. Tell the truth.
Okay, I think one thing I find annoying with my sister, I'm not sure if it's the most annoying. I'm not sure if there is something I've had
There's
the
a
most
lot.
annoying. But it's the fact that when I am looking for her, or when I really want to talk to her, I can't reach her.
Hey!
Yabona ke leyo bandase yanifratsa. Fratseka yanifratsa ndimxelele. But I get to understand that, okay, probably just because I want to reach her at this moment, she's busy. So maybe drop her a text and say, girl, I'm looking for you, 1, 2, 3. Then this girl, you call, you text, dololo, feedback or response, you know, and the stream.
And guys, not even for umgo. Like just general. I don't like the phone.
True, she
I
doesn't
don't,
like the
guys.
phone.
Even when I used to jola, I didn't like the phone. Asikho lapho. Even my friends, to this day, will tell you that I'm not a phone person. And I'm not. Guys, I've tried to be a phone person. I'm not a phone person, Jay. So, Leon doesn't call a bit.
And what do you find the most annoying about me?
Let me think. Most annoying thing about you? Okay, guys, my sister has this thing, ne? It's not the most annoying thing, but it's the one thing I can think of now. Like, we will both be in this situation where we're sitting here and something is happening. Or we're watching a movie. Or like a YouTube vlog. Or whatever the case. And then she will ask me while we are both watching it. Like, we both don't know what's happening, but she keeps asking me, what's it doing? What is she doing now? Is she doing her hair? Like, we are both watching the same thing. She doesn't know how to watch things without commenting. And now I realize that I've picked it up from her. Because now I'm doing it too. When I'm sitting alone, guys, I'll be doing what my sister does to me. Like, literally, I'll be watching something, I'll be like, what is she doing now? So I think that's the thing.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, I think I knew it because I know when she doesn't want to respond to me.
Yeah, sometimes I just miss her.
I know when she doesn't want to respond to me, but I didn't know that sometimes it spoils the fun of what we're watching for her. Because, for example,
it's not necessarily spoiling of the fun. For me, it's just a matter of, I also don't know, Nana. We are both watching it.
Okay, because I feel like it's okay if I'm watching you in the kitchen or doing something else and you asking me and then I respond.
Yes.
But if we both here, I didn't know, girl, but okay, girl, it's a masbukele. We'll talk about it after.
Yes.
But now I know.
Silence is golden.
Now I know, guys.
If you could change one thing about yourself physically, what would it be?
It would have to be my teeth.
Really?
Yeah. I think growing up, I've always not liked my teeth because I've got big teeth and they call them the rabbit teeth.
Yeah.
But I've came to realize that it's something that I can't entirely change. It's not like false. No, I can't do that. But I've also braces. But I've also learned to love it, right? Because it's something that I'm born with. But also having to have discovered that it's one of the features guys love about me. They
really?
love my teeth. Yeah, they love my teeth.
Which guys?
They love my smile. They love my laugh. They love my teeth.
Guys you've dated or guys who've asked you out?
Even guys that I haven't dated.
But they say that.
Yeah, they do.
They say they love you too.
Oh, yeah, they do. Okay, interesting. It is very interesting. thing, but that's one of the things. I can't say currently because I'm in this weight loss journey. I can't say my weight because I know that I've lost weight before and I can do it again. So that for me is not a
And
biggie.
it's something that you can change.
It's something I can change. But with my teeth, but okay, right now I'm on a loving them, and eventually when I can afford, maybe I'll put in braces. We'll see.
I think now, before this age that I'm at now, I probably would have had a lot of things that I could say.
Okay.
But I think I've grown to...
Oh.
I think I've grown to love myself. I think that's why I'm saying 30s is like the best decade, because you learn to love the things you hated about yourself before. So I love everything about myself, guys, physically. I used to hate my knocked knees, like my kiss. And also like the fact that I was not aware but kiss my dolo until I was like in grade 10, first of all. But then once I was aware of it, it just annoyed me. I hated everything about my legs, basically. But now I've learned to embrace them. I love my knock knees. They make me unique. And I love myself. You know, at some point I wanted bigger breasts, but now I'm fine with my small chest. I wanted a bigger booty. I am okay with my strapper. And I love myself. So there isn't anything actually that I would change.
Oh, no. That's good. You gorgeous.
People
girl.
used to call me Garfield because of my eyes. My eyes are like sleepy. But I love my eyes now.
Love it, good Sana.
So there's nothing I can think of, Nana.
Oh, interesting. What is your biggest fear in life?
My biggest fear in life is being sexually assaulted. Number one.
Okay.
I live in South Africa. I'm a woman. It's in South Africa. GBV is rife. So as a South African black female, I'm forever fearing that I will get violated in some way, physically. And then also, I think losing my parents. Like, I know they're growing older now, and at some point I'm gonna have to bury them, but I'm not ready to lose them because I feel like I still need them. So I think those are my two greatest fears in life currently.
Yeah. I was gonna say my biggest fear is losing my parents, but also losing you guys as siblings. I think I don't know what I would do if that stage would come, and how I'd even reacted, and how I'd even adapt to it and accept it. So I think that's my biggest fear, is having to get a call one day and it's a matter of Ubanban is no longer with us. I don't know how I'm gonna go about going with life after that.
What are 3 things you like the most about me?
3 things I love the most about my sister is the fact that my sister is a very selfless person. I think she took after my mom on that. She always puts my needs before her needs. And I'll forever be grateful for that. Even though as I'm growing older, I always try to not have her do that, because I want her also to always consider her feelings before mine. But the fact that she does it without having to think twice, and currently she doesn't have kids, so I'm like her firstborn for now until she has kids. So I love the fact that she's able to do that, but not only to me but also to other people around her. She's generally got a big heart like that. I love the fact that my sister, guys, is intelligent. Like, I love that. I love the fact that not only when I need advice, but when I am like, what does this word mean? My sister can generally just explain it, and she will not have to make me feel like I'm stupid at that moment. But how can you not know this word? I love the fact that when I visit, she takes care of me. It's like when I want to be in my child era,
Yes, and
I can simply come see my sister and I'm in my child era. I love that. I love that she does it with not having to worry, but also it resembles her kindness. She's a very kind person, to people she knows and to people that she doesn't know. So I love those 3 things, amongst other things about my sister.
You're being so sweet to me today.
Woo! Just today.
I think one thing I like about my sister, or love, one of the 3 things I love about my sister, she's a lover. I think I said this at her 30th, right? She is a lover. My sister is a lover, and I think she's taught us to also be lovers, like as a family. She's like broken the shells, you know, of my parents as well. She loves, she gives hugs, she gifts, you know, she always gifts my parents, she gifts me, she, you know, she treats everybody around her friends with love. And I think also one thing I was saying to her is, unfortunately, how you perceive others does not mean is the same way they're gonna perceive you. Because I think also because she's a lover, she expects it in return, and she doesn't always get it. Unfortunately, that's how life is. But yeah, my sister is a lover. And the second thing, my sister is funny. I love that about her. She is funny. She makes me laugh. She's always a bubbly person, you know. She comes with a lot of energy sometimes, you know. Like, she visited me because I was feeling down, and when she came, my spirits just lifted up. So I love that about her. And I love that she's a people's person. I love that she's a people's person. Like, even strangers, you know. Even we are papela bantu. Sometimes it's a good thing.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And she's a good cook. My sister cooks really nice food. She'll give you hassles about the spices that she needs. She's
story
very
for another day.
specific. But I ndifuna aromat, ndifuna intondon. It's like, Nana.
Do you think our parents had a favorite? If so, who and why?
Yes, my sister. This one.
Why?
Because my sister got away with a lot, guys. Like, my sister got away with a lot. When I was growing up, my mom had this thing of, if you're a girl by the age of 12, you should be able to just be a woman. Like, you should be wife material by that age. So you must know how to, you know, you remember that bread that was not sliced? My mom used to be very strict in how I sliced that bread. Like, by the age of 12, I had to know how to slice that bread properly. I had to know how to cook up by the age of 12. Do you understand? I had to know how to clean the house, how to do certain household duties by the age of 12. She always used to say, you can get married anytime from age of 12. So my mom was very strict with me. My dad was very strict with me. But with this one, they were not strict at all.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that, guys. I didn't know I got away with a lot of things.
You did.
Because with me, I would say if currently, right, if I think my parents have a favorite and who the favorite child is, it's my sister.
Why?
I think the favorite is my sister. Like I've said before, my sister is an introvert, meaning that she's quiet. My sister that chooses to do things according to the books, meaning that it pleases the parents. My sister will not like something, but because the parents wanted, she will do it for the parents, you know. So by default, she's that child who obeys, who's respectful, who do things to please her parents, even it's at the expense of her happiness. I'm that child who will do it. I'll first have to question
Why?
why are we doing it? Do we have to do it?
Who started doing it?
Who started doing
Why
it?
must I continue?
Why is it written somewhere that we have to do it? You know, I'm that child, and it often comes across as if I'm a radical child, like I'm rebellious, I don't want to listen. But for me, it's like, it doesn't have to continue because it was done.
Tradition.
We could always start something new, and if I'm unhappy about doing it, why should I? So according to me, even currently, out of the 4 of us, the favorite child to my parents, my sister. Because my older brother, he's a different kind of breed. Quiet, does not say, just does things or acts. Second born is like me. Second one is like me, who want to justify and ask and show the parents. And he's even worse than me, because for me it's like, okay, I'll ask, justify. The minute I see they are not turning, I'll do it. My brother will be like, no, but mazala, no zala, we don't have to, you know. He will take a conversation further. So, favorite child, it's this one. Even in family meetings, when they refer to us kids, Sister is always there. My dad will be like, okay, not that I'm comparing you guys as kids, but unobuntu and at our favorite child, guys. Sister.
Guys, I didn't even get a metric dance, Mina. I didn't go to a metric dance. Who went to a metric dance? This one over here.
Guys, I feel like being
I
a
live
last
with it there.
born, being a
Oh.
last born, yeah, does come with certain privileges. But also, I think some of the things that I got was because my siblings fought for me to get them. Like going to a metric dance would have not been possible if it was not for my siblings. And my sister's always been that one person who wanted me to enjoy my childhood that she could not enjoy. And for that, I'll forever be grateful.
Yeah.
Always. Guys. Always.
I think
That
also with mom, now that I think about it, she does have her favorite for different situations.
Okay.
I remember last year in Gokubeskoa and there was death all around the family and there was so many things happening and my mom needed to go to the Eastern Cape, but it had to happen now and like she was just not okay mentally. And I remember her saying, I need Bayete, right? Who's the brother that I come after. She was like, I know if I talk to my son, he's gonna talk sense into me and I know he's gonna calm me down because he has a way, of doing it. And I really loved that she knows Wuti in certain situations I need this one. Even with my sister, my mom will say, okay, Ulona, I know she's gonna be objective. I know she's gonna call a spade a spade. I need Lorna to be present for whatever family meeting or whatever situation, so she knows which child she needs for which situation, so I guess in a sense we are all her favorite.
True. No, with mom we're all favorites. Mom will always be like, no, don't compare the kids. Mom is that person. Dad will be like, I'm not comparing that.
So it's basically like a little quiz of who knows who best. Okay?
Are we not finishing the last question?
That's the last question, Galo.
Oh, okay.
So it says, how well do you know your sister? So what is your sister's favorite food?
One thing I know that my sister loves and enjoys is toast. My sister enjoys toast. It's honey something bread. Honey and oats bread with margarine, with onion marinated sauce from Willie's and pesto.
Basil pesto.
Basil pesto. That's one thing I know she enjoys eating.
My sister used to be vegetarian, guys, so yeah, I can eat tricky. Because Ning Ning, she's vegetarian, she's Ning Ning, she's eating meat, she's Ning Ning, she's pescatarian, she does not know where she stands in life. So how am I supposed to know? But my sister loves fish, guys. Whenever we go out, she's always ordering hake. She loves it grilled, I don't know why, but she never enjoys it. So I don't know if that's her favorite food. And I think seafood in general is her favorite. What is my sister's favorite color?
Gosh, this sounds it looks so weird. Nana, you don't have a favorite color. Navy blue? What? I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Nana, why would it be navy?
What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Really?
What's yours?
You don't owe a lot of purple things.
It's my favorite color, but I owe a lot of nude brown. Nana, we spoke about this yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Why did you say navy?
I don't know. I'm looking at your wardrobe and you've
My
got
goodness.
these colors.
I can't do.
I love green. Langala shona. And how long are these questions? Because I need to pee.
We're done, Nana.
Can I go pee?
No.
Why on?
Because we're almost done now.
Oh.
Please. Guys, my battery is now flat. What music does your sister like?
Guys, my sister loves R&B and do some gospel. Is that it?
I feel like she's answering for herself.
No, I'm answering for you. All the concerts you went to last year, were they not R&B, jazz?
I do love R&B.
Yeah, I know you love R&B and you love gospel. Don't you love gospel?
I do.
A cappella.
I do.
I'm answering for you.
My sister loves gospel, guys. Do you listen to R&B?
I do.
Because she doesn't know any lyrics of any R&B.
It's my favorite. She doesn't know any lyrics.
So it's just like, like you are Imamela Indo. Like you would know the lyrics of like at least one song.
True. I know the lyrics of songs.
Like let's sing one song, Nana.
Which song?
Any R&B song that you like.
Kalabu, you choose the song.
Kalabu, you know which lyrics you know.
No, but I feel like I do listen to it, but it's not like my
Okay, who's your favorite artist?
type of genre. I'd be like, okay, I want to go listen
That's
to.
why you need to question what is your sister's favorite music.
I love gospel.
That's what I said.
Besides gospel, I'm only listening to gospel now.
It's your favorite music.
Okay.
What's your second favorite?
I love house, my piano, because I love
You
dancing.
see? It's not R&B.
Okay, fine.
What's your favorite Mapiano song?
Oh, for now, so drive a bit even.
What is your favorite? What is your sister's favorite TV show?
Guys, my sister's got 2 TV shows that she loves, which are old, but as collabo, it's Friends and The Office. And I've recently learned there's Love Spectrum.
Love on the Spectrum.
Love on the Spectrum, yes. My sister loves the weird, awkward things, yes.
My sister loves adulting.
Wow! Okay.
Yeah, my sister loves the Real Housewife. Nigeria, Lagosi, all of them. She loves them. Where is your sister's favorite place in the world?
I don't know, actually. I would say for now, home. Yeah, my guess would be home.
I think for my sister it's church.
I don't know if I have a favorite place in the world.
I think it's church. My sister loves going to church. She will troll you for not going to church.
Makes sense why now she doesn't respond to me when I ask
She
her,
will
did you
troll
go to
you.
church? On the weekend,
don't
did
go
you
to
go to
church?
church? It makes sense why she doesn't
She wants
respond.
to go to all the church concerts, all the church conferences. She's already planning an outfit for September. You know, so I would say her favorite place in the world is church.
Interesting. I don't know if it's my favorite place, but I enjoy going to church, yes.
So, your sister is an early bird or a night owl?
Yo, my sister's a night owl, son. You're not an early bird, him does.
I think you're also a night owl. Guys, my sister doesn't like sleeping early. Like, she's allergic to it. Like, if you say, Nana, let's go sleep before 10, I don't know. What happens, Nana?
I'm working on it, actually, yes.
Yeah, my sister is definitely a night owl. She's not an early bird. Your sister is an optimist or a pessimist?
What's the definition of pessimist again?
Someone who sees the cup as being half empty. Then an optimist is someone who sees the cup as being half full. So they always see the silver lining. The pessimist always sees the negative.
Okay, I'm definitely an optimist.
You're supposed to answer for me.
Hey!
I said.
You're an optimist, him does.
What? You definitely.
You're an optimist. You're an optimist.
I think I can be a pessimist sometimes.
I think you can when you get into your overthinking,
Yeah.
your procrastination.
I always think of worst case
your what
scenario.
ifs. Yes, I think you can. But majority of the time, if it involves other people, you're an optimist. But when it involves you, you're a pessimist.
I don't have to answer for her, guys. She already answered for herself.
No, I want to hear your
You are an
definition
optimist.
Okay,
Yeah.
I try to be.
I think the one thing about having a sister is the fact that you grow up in the same household. And I'm sorry for the noise. You grow up in the same household, so you're most likely to have the same values and the same childhood experiences. Although our parents did parent us differently, even though we were in the same household. But generally, our childhood experiences are the same. Our value system is the same. Belief system is the same. So we relate to one another very well, you know? Like my point of view, you get it. I don't have to explain because we share the same beliefs and the values, and doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's the one thing about being sisters that I like. The fact that I don't have to explain myself to you. Or my childhood traumas because you already know them. Or my childhood experiences because you already know them. So even when I'm being pessimistic in a certain situation, you get it because it's like, you get it. Thank you so much for watching this video. That's better.
Gotta keep my emotions running wild.
I hit my thighs. Anyway, thank you so much guys for watching until this far. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Please do comment in the comment section down below. If you don't know what to say, you can just leave us an emoji of
hearts. Let's share some love, guys.
sister like saying hearts.
You said I'm a loving person. Hearts, guys. Red hearts.
Or those people hugging, guys. You see those two people that are blue,
Okay.
that are hugging. Please give us that emoji or emoji of a hug, whatever the hug looks like. Just let us know that you did watch the video until this far. Kindly also then go over to my sister's channel and please do check it out. Yeah, let's continue engaging and getting to know one another. Let's continue on this YouTube journey. We're almost a year old. I cannot wait to celebrate 1 year on YouTube. Be kind to yourself and be kind to those around you because you don't know what they're going through. Doesn't take much to smile. You might just make someone's day. From me and my sister, Sinitanda.
Nongebakaya, bye.
Guys, we've written some questions down. So, Ninani.
Nana believes.
Imagine. Jama so si yanje.
Oh.
Okay. I am going to put it in the. Did you do it? Background defocus. So that it just focuses on it. Guys, yo, if only you knew. If only you knew the hassling that is happening. Yeah. Guys, siyagoa. Yeva, siyagoa. Yo. Whereas we still have to prepare for work, but anyway, asikolapo. We said we wanted to have YouTube channels. Yes. So we are paying the rent for YouTube.
Why yiva le mbongo? Why yiva khona? Because uyayithanda.